We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. The channel is Nuke the House. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks. Tyler, we're going to be a little honest on the show today. That was a boring opening weekend. Bro, there was no upsets at all. None of the road teams won.
Yeah, it was Chalk City, but I mean, it is what it is. The last night's game was entertaining down the stretch.
Yeah, we had one good game yesterday. Yesterday was trash.
Is what it is. Let's see how the second go round goes of the games.
All right, guys. So, what's up, Jonathan Nelson? Hanging out with Jonathan Nelson yesterday as you guys were making all those great live NASCAR bets. I told Tyler before we jumped on, John, that I was going to jump on and live bet some NBA with you guys, but I hate live betting blowouts. So we just kind of hung out and talked, but that was a fun show. And, of course, the live show is on this channel. Oh, my gosh, that must have hurt, dude. I thought the Pelicans were going to win. Jonathan Nelson's had the Pelicans money line.
Yeah, that's
Cool. But, of course, the live show is a lot of fun, and I'll be trying to continue to jump on the weekends as my schedule allows. Like yesterday, my girlfriend went to something else, so I was like, okay, whatever. Let's see what else. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of talk about all the games. And like I told Tyler, I wasn't sure if I was going to jump on today, but maybe I'll jump on tomorrow. Maybe I'll jump on Wednesday. But regardless, we're going to talk about all the games through Wednesday today. And then maybe I'll jump on, especially if something like exciting happens tonight. I can't wait to see what Jonathan Nelson thinks about the Lakers because everybody seems to think that all these series are over already, and I do not think that at all.
I can tell you two that are.
What's up?
I can tell you two that are over, and they're two that I think. Well, I mean, I wasn't on one side of these. I'm not sure where you stood on the one, but we were definitely wrong on one of these. And the Suns are definitely dead.
No, they're not.
They're dead.
No, they're not.
Grayson Allen can't play.
Bro, they lost a home game. They lost game one. So,
yeah,
okay.
They're just getting out physical. They can't get any rebounds. They can't guard Ant. Booker.
Yeah, but if they start making shots and they just go nuclear, I mean, what Devin Booker shoot from the field?
He played terrible in game one. I know he could bounce back, but still, there's a ton of good defenders that are going to be on him. It's not going to be easy to bounce back. I think they're dead. And on the other side, the Pacers don't stand a chance in the playoff spread.
So I told you. So, okay, first of all, for those who
that team's dead.
I'm watching a lot, right? You know that I, number one, love the Kings, and number two, hate the Lakers. So this has been a terrible month for me, right? The NBA is just kicking me in the nuts, beating my ass, screwing my girlfriend, slashing my tire. It's been terrible, right? For me personally, right? But I still spent some time this morning reading all this stuff. And I thought it was interesting about that Pacers team, right? To talk about this Pacers team. Because I don't know if I want to argue with that one. We're going to go back to the Sun series because we'll definitely be opposite there. I don't think that one's done at all. But they were talking about how much the Buddy Hield trade could have hurt the Pacers. Because that just made them that potent offensive team, right? And it kind of slowed them down too. Now, I think that they're probably better with Siakam, but that identity they had that was all offense, all go, when they had Obi Toppin in the lineup compared to Siakam is a lot different. And now we're looking at this Indiana team without Buddy Hield, without that extra three-point shooter, right? They're kind of average on offense. And if you're average on offense, that level of defense that they play is not going to cut it. So I somewhat agree with you, but
let me ask you a question. And I know where you're going to stand, and you're not going to like my answer. Who's their best player?
Who?
The Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton.
You sure about that?
You think Siakam's better?
Yeah.
I
mean, outside of that little 2-3 week performance he had at the beginning of the year when everyone wanted to crown him the next coming of Magic Johnson, he hasn't done a thing. I know he was hurt, but he just hasn't done anything. Now, playoff start, you score 9 points. Your guy you traded for went and put up 36 and was fighting for his life out there on his own. I think he's the best player on the team.
And that's fine. Okay, here's the reason I won't argue with you. Halliburton's a traffic cone on defense.
Yeah, traffic cone on defense. The jump shot, I mean, sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't, but he really doesn't score all that well. He just passes well. And it's just not working right now. So
Okay, here's
great
gonna be
point
my
guard,
little bit
great
of pushback.
facilitator,
I don't reject your premise at all, because when you consider Pascal's ability to get stops and
and
you can put him
you
on
can
any
give him the
player two
ball
through
and he'll just
four
go
and
get
even
you
a
a
small
bucket.
ball five. Go ahead.
You can give him the ball and he'll get you a bucket. I know it might be
Yeah.
the same move every time, him spinning to the hoop and maybe getting a layup or a fadeaway, but he has moves to get his shots off.
But correct me if I'm wrong. That was Tyrese Halliburton's first playoff game ever, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta expect he's going to improve.
What do you count the play-in as earlier in the year? I know they're not exactly playoff games.
That tournament, nothing. Nothing. It was nothing.
But you could argue that he played in the championship game against the Lakers, and that was as close as you're going to get to a playoff game.
Playoff atmosphere, but it wasn't ref like a
he
playoff
got
game.
absolutely locked down in that game. So you would have thought maybe he got the taste for it then, and he didn't really rebound here. So just my take.
Okay, I'm not ready to write off a young player just because he had
not fully writing him off, but as of right now, he's not the best player on their team.
Okay, and that's fine. I don't reject that premise. But I think Halliburton's going to look much better by the end of the series. So I see people in the chat. What's up to Johnny Nelson? Hopefully you're in hell tonight, Jonathan Nelson. But everyone's saying these series is over, like Clyde, right? Clyde says all these series are done. Well, then why do they play a 7-game series? Why don't they just play a 1-game series?
The Denver series, I could tell you, is unless they make adjustments, and I don't see Darvin Ham making the right ones, that's over.
It's not.
Spread.
Do you want to know the adjustment that they already made?
Yank D'Lo off the floor and give all of his and Dinwiddie's minutes to Gabe Vincent and pray to God he doesn't break in half, because that's the guy that can cover Jamal Murray and shoot the threes.
You guys are forgetting that this is not a sport. This is entertainment. Do you see who's the fucking ref tonight?
I don't think it matters.
It does. They only got 6 free throw attempts in that last game. It's going to be even worse tonight. Yeah, everyone hates Darvin Ham. No one wants to blame the fact that your star player who thinks he's the coach does not play defense. Let's just blame Darvin Ham for that, because he can't get LeBron to not play defense. Trade away all your depth. No, it's not Darvin Ham's fault. Somehow Prince is still getting minutes. I mean, who do you want them to play instead, Jonathan Nelson?
Gabe Vincent.
All right, that's probably right. Okay, let's go through these game by game, but I have a little bit of pushback because we had 8 home teams wins, right? So we all go, oh, the series is over. No. Any of these teams that win tonight is going to take, or in this game 2, is going to take control of the series. So it's not over. They just did what they were supposed to do. All right, we're going to go game by game, though, because by the time we get through this, we'll have talked about every game. The Orlando Magic are plus 5.5. They're in Cleveland. They're taking on the Cavaliers. The total is 203.5. Tyler, I told you I was working in a deficit here because I did not watch this game. I went out for a hike in the morning because I knew I was going to have a full weekend of basketball, and I needed to get some sort of sunshine before diving into this wild league. And I'll be honest, I expected a much more exciting weekend. For all 8 home teams to win was really disappointing for me. Magic was a team that we both liked the side, but we decided not to get there because we already had them on the series. So we figured it was the same thing. Now they're catching 5.5 tonight. Tyler, do me a favor. Can we pull up the box score from game 1? Because I think both teams shot really bad, right?
Yeah, Magic shot 33%, 28 for 86 from the field. Cavs shot 44%, 36 for 81. 22 and 27% from 3 on both sides.
Yeah, you got to think that's going to go up, right?
I think it goes up a tad bit, but I mean, the Magic have never been known to shoot well spread, so it's like, who are their shooters really? They really don't have any. So I'm not sure really where their shooting improves to where the Cavs, yeah, their shooting could improve, but the Magic are going to try and run them off the 3 line. So I still lean towards the under, even at the lower number of 2 or 3.
Yeah, and it moved a lot too, because it was 208 in game 1. Now it's 203.
I don't hate waiting. I mean, just looking at this box score from game 1, because I didn't watch this game either. I worked that day.
Yeah.
The first quarter was a 59-point quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think that they had a 207 on game 1. That probably ballooned up to 220 after that quarter?
218, 215.
That was probably the easiest under on the board at that point after that first quarter, because they never got close to that. So
Mhm.
I definitely don't hate a live entry at like 210 and going under there, but I like the under here. Lean towards the Magic, keeping this one close. Maybe like
Yeah,
a first quarter Magic and the Cavs win the game. To where the Magic come out, they play well, and the Cavs just slowly chip away and come back. Like, what's that payout at?
I can make arguments on both sides here. Number one, I think the Magic should have some sort of positive regression as far as how badly they shot. I know that Cleveland plays some pretty good defense, but they did miss a lot of open shots. They also 18. Oh, Cavaliers had 18 turnovers in that game, and they still won easily, huh?
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Another good idea for the Cavaliers is Donovan Mitchell continues to get better, and we know he wasn't healthy at the end of the year. He looked pretty good on Saturday from what I did see. Of course, I didn't see the full game. I only saw the highlights. But if he's back to 100%, you talked about where is the Magic going to get their shooting. Cleveland has much better depth in shooting. And we did like the Magic's matchup inside as far as having the size to match Cleveland. But if that ends up becoming a wash and they just match up and the guard play of the Cavaliers is so much better with Garland and Mitchell, I think this one was tough. Cleveland did struggle in that third quarter. I thought there was a chance that the Magic would come back, but it felt like the Cavaliers responded well to adversity. And we talked about playoff experience earlier when we were discussing the Pacers. Similar situation here where the Cavaliers, I know they didn't play well, but they got that experience last season. The Magic are kind of in that same spot that the Cavaliers are in. So I'd say we agree. I don't know if I want to make it official, though, but I think I like the plus 5.5 and I like the under as well.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I may take a stab on Max Struso 3+3s here.
Mm-hmm.
His over 1.5 is juiced pretty bad to minus 150 on FanDuel, but the 3+ is plus 250. He went 1 for 5, but he's one of the floor spacers. He's going to be in the corners. If they're going to make threes, he's going to be one of the guys. So he could easily hit 3 here, and that could be a quick cash for you. He could walk out there and hit his first 3 threes, and that could be the easiest plus 250 we've hit in a while. So I don't hate taking a stab on that. And Jared Allen's rebounds at 11.5. Just, I mean, what do you have? Like 18 in game 1?
And why would that be any different, right?
Yeah, like that. Wendell Carter's his matchup. Yeah, he had exactly 18 in game 1. So
I guess the only way, let's just say the Magic shoot better.
Or he gets into foul trouble.
Less opportunities. Yeah.
So.
RBL 41 says, do I think Mitchell gets over 30 points? I mean, it's possible, but I don't think I would bet it. I don't want to bet over 30s on a total of 200, right, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree there.
Well, let's just assume. So right now I have the Magic?
He got the 30 last game, but it's just I don't want to do that.
Hold on, I'm pulling up my projections right now. I pulled them too low. Dang it! Why did I hit the back? Come on, buddy. All right. So here's the idea, right? That I put. So I only have the Cavaliers at 108 on my projections. So Mitchell gets 30. I mean, that's 28% of their total points. Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think I would bet that. Anything more on this game, Tyler? Any other ways we could approach this one?
I think that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. I mean, Cavaliers first half is -3. Cavaliers -10.5 is plus 200.
There's a Mitchell and Paulo combined for 65 points, 11-1. I don't hate that.
There's also a Magic team total under 98.5, which is kind of interesting. And because I think it correlates to the under, but if Mitchell and Garland go off, you're safe.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't really see any props I like.
That game.
I think I like the unders on a lot of these players. Like Bonchero, 22.5. Wagner's at 18.5. Mo Wagner's got a higher team total than Wendell Carter Jr. That's kind of funny. And what did you say, Jared Allen's? What number did you have for Jared Allen rebounds?
11.5.
Dude, I got plus 101 on that. Should we play that?
I don't hate it.
I think that's probably the best of the whole game, don't you?
Probably, yeah.
They lost Jalen Suggs' assist. All right, let's keep it moving. This was a game we actually got right, Tyler. Wasn't a good weekend for us, but we did have the Knicks correct. And not only that, things have looked worse for Philadelphia because Embiid hurt himself during the game. And Maxey hit the injury report with an illness. How are you not playing? But unfortunately, the line moved. We got it at 3.5. I think it moved to about 4 by the time the game tipped. Now they're out to 5.5. This total was 209 for game one. It's down to 204.5. So it's dropped 4.5 points, which I also think is the correct move. Seems to me like it's Knicks or pass, but I don't want to lay 5.5. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks win again. I agree with you. I don't want to lay 5.5. I think the Philly could come out first quarter, put the Jets on, get a nice lead. New York has to fight their way from behind. They come back, win the game. So I don't hate waiting to enter live on the Knicks at plus money. I'd probably go under again, though. If Maxey misses this game spread, who else is scoring for Philly outside of Embiid? Like, they really don't have much scoring. Like, are we really going to trust these other guys to put up the points?
My guy better healed.
I mean, but he can't play any defense, so Nick Nurse might bench him. So, and on the other side, Miles McBride, I don't think has the game he had. And outside of Jalen Brunson, I really don't trust their offense. So for the Knicks, I think the under's another play at 204. I don't think it's low enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another under tonight. Okay, so it seems like the first game we like the dog in the under. In this game, we like the favorite in the under, right? I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of these other markets here and just kind of look, see if there's anything else that interests us. So the Sixers team total is 99.5, and the Knicks team total is 105. I think those are fair numbers. Sixers are minus 149 to score first. That's weird. Why would you get plus money on the favored team? Oh, I guess they're assuming that Embiid wins the tip. Okay. Embiid's sitting at 30.5.
Under.
Yeah, he didn't look good, dude. He didn't
look
good at all.
Under, but I'm saying that as in, like, I don't think he finishes the game under. Like, I don't think he finishes the series.
If you're going to play an Embiid over, I think you should take his threes because he's not moving well, which means he's not going to get down low, and I can see him sitting out and shooting a lot. And he's still got a nice shooting stroke. Yeah, Jonathan Nelson says wait and get a better number on the Knicks. I think that might be a good strategy here. We talked about the other guys that would score. They're listing Maxey, so I guess they think he'll play, and he's at 25.5. Kyle Lowry's at only 8.5. That might be interesting to try and get now. If Maxey does miss, I would think that he would go over. Tobias Harris is at 11.5. I would only look to play Tobias Harris under. I don't care if Maxey plays or not. Kelly Oubre is over 12.5. I think if Maxey missed, he'd be another one to kind of absorb some of that usage. OG Anunoby's at 13.5. It seems like about the right.
There's 1 points prop I won. It's like the weirdest one. I just think he's going to be on the floor a lot of the game.
DiVincenzo?
Nope. Right team, right position, wrong guy.
Not McBride again.
No, I want Mitchell Robinson at 5.5. If Embiid can't play out of the post, which it looks like he can't just bully ball these guys with his knee all banged up. Mitchell Robinson's the perfect guy to be on the floor over Hartenstein because he can move out on the perimeter too, and he can keep him out there, contest the jump shots, and get in there and get rebounds. His points props at 5.5. He had 8 in the first game. I like that, and I do like his over 10.5 that they're talking about in the chat right here. The 10.5 plus 180. Or his actual number 7.5 minus 135. I got
7.5 as well.
I like the 10 plus at plus 180. And what is he? He's plus 650 to lead this game in rebounds. He could easily do that. I think he plays the minutes. He had 30 minutes last game. I think he matches up better with a hurt Embiid over Hartenstein. Hartenstein would be there if Embiid was able to just put his back to the basket and just bully these guys out of his way. So I like the Robinson props here.
Yeah, RBL's asked about Donovan Mitchell and now Mitchell Robinson. I think of the two that he's asked, I like the Mitchell Robinson a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep it moving though.
That makes sense in my head, like the way the series is going to play out, and if he's actually as banged up as we think he is.
Yeah. So I just say be careful. So I'll tell you what though, Tyler. You know how I keep talking about all these road teams need is to win game 2, and then all instead of the series being over, they have the edge. I think the least likely upset. I think the safest money line favorite right now is the New York Knicks.
What, to win their series
Tonight? Excuse me.
Bless you. I don't know. I think this next game might be it.
No, I think the Lakers have a better chance. First of all, they're going to get every freaking call. They're going to get every call tonight.
What if Brunson has a dead night and he just can't do anything? Like this Philly team could easily just kind of grind their way to a win.
Yeah, no, you're right. And if Embiid all of a sudden just looks a lot better, maybe they shoot him up with some.
Yeah, what if he gives us one game and this is the game? I lean towards it'd be more surprising to see the Lakers take a game in Denver when they couldn't take game 1 when Jamal Murray shot like shit. And they were up, 16 at one point in that game, and they still couldn't just win the game.
Dude, if Embiid had LeBron James steroid dealer, he would be like modern day Wilt Chamberlain. Okay. Yeah. Well, we disagree there. I think the Knicks are the safest money line. You think the Nuggets are the safest money line. And the betting odds agree with you as the Knicks are at -202. The Nuggets are at -286. I think that's a perfect segue for us to talk about tonight's main event. I know New York and Philadelphia is really popular on the East Coast, but I know for us out here on the West Coast, this is what we want to see. It's got the stars. It's got Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP, the guy that will – no, he's not the reigning MVP, but he's the guy who's probably going to win it this year. The greatest player of his generation, and LeBron James, who, Tyler, we got to be honest, looked kind of tired there towards the end of the game. We got Anthony Davis pissed off that he didn't make Defensive Player of the Year. What do you think of that? I'm not a big awards guy.
I mean, I feel like he is one of the best defensive players in the leagues, and
he kind of do too.
I hate
seeing positive Lakers stuff.
He played all those games this year. He should have been in that. But
and when you're a big, you matter so much more than being able to be a lockdown defender.
Who were the exact finalists? Do you know? It had to be Rudy, Victor, and who was the other one?
No, I don't even think Victor. I'll look
Victor.
Right now.
If the odds project the finalists, Victor's there because he was second in odds when they all closed. But I mean, it should have been those three. It should have been Rudy, Victor, and AD as your finalists, in my eyes.
You're right. It was Rudy, Victor, and Bam.
I think AD is more impactful than Bam on the defensive end. Bam's probably fourth. AD he deflects so many shots, like you can't score anything when he's at the rim. You could there's 2 to 3 guys in the NBA when they're standing under the hoop and you go up for a layup, 9 times out of 10 it's getting blocked. One of them plays for San Antonio. The other one plays for the Lakers.
Okay, that's fair. I think Bam is. I don't really mind that as much when we're looking at that. Although to be fair, I know Rudy's going to win it, but AD might be better than Rudy.
Yeah, it's just Rudy's on the
He's
best.
More versatile,
and he has multiple other great defenders around him.
Yeah,
so this is what it is.
Right. Okay, so Jonathan Nelson thinks the Lakers are cooked, and I think this is a complete overreaction. They got tired at the end of that game. I think they'll pace themselves a little better this game, especially LeBron James, who, I mean, he was really tired at the end of that game. And we've seen it before, and he's kind of a master of this, is just coasting. And I've already complained about it, right? Saying, you guys give him all these props, but he just rests on defense. He needs to do that tonight. Or another interesting wrinkle would be, what do you think of putting LeBron on Jokic, Tyler, and letting AD roam to disrupt things? That could be another potential adjustment that they could potentially make. Remember when they put Rui on Jokic in game 1 last year, and they were down by 30, and then they cut the lead, and everyone thought that Darvin Ham had unlocked the secret to stopping Jokic and the Nuggets. That didn't turn to be the pace, but maybe just it works tonight. I know we took the Lakers in game 1, and I kind of stand by that. I still think they keep it close. As poor as they look, they're going to get every freaking call tonight. I mean, Scott Foster knows what his job is. And this is why, I'm kind of souring on the NBA. just the free throw advantage for the Lakers is so bad. I mean, if you put this roster in the Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't know. All right. Enough bitching for me, though. You guys already know about my disdain for that team. But with all that disdain being said, I still think they're the right side tonight. But you're on the opposite side. What do you think, Tyler?
I don't think that they make the right adjustments. I don't think that they have the coach that's going to do that. I just don't see Darvin Ham making the right adjustments and getting the right guys on the floor. He's still going to run Dinwiddie. He's still going to try D'Lo. Jamal Murray shot like shit in game one. He's going to shoot the ball better this game. The other guys around them are going to play better. I mean, AD had a great game too. LeBron kind of died at the end of the game, but I don't see it. Like, I just see the Nuggets kind of doing their thing and just pulling away with this in the end. Like, maybe the Lakers keep it close for a little bit again, and then the Nuggets just kind of pull away because they're the better team. They have more energy. I don't think the Lakers can win a game in Denver. Did you see the stat where Denver, when they have their entire starting lineup, since these 5 guys have been put together, they've lost 1 game in Denver?
I didn't see that.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, or that stat might be a little different. Let me see.
I'm just saying, be careful about just assuming Denver's going to do it again. You're going to be sitting like me my whole life. You're going to be sitting there and just watch the Lakers go to the line over and over again.
Exact stat. It says the Nuggets haven't lost a single home game against a Western Conference opponent in which Jokic, Murray, MPJ, and Aaron Gordon play and finish the game. Is it tonight? I mean,
I'm just so wary. I feel like they're just going to beat the shit out of the Nuggets physically, and they're not going to get any foul calls called on them. And then I think they're going to go to the line on a bunch of ticky-tack fouls, and it's going to be one of those games that reminds me why I just low-key hate the NBA. If I couldn't win money on betting it, I probably wouldn't watch it.
I think this is exactly like last year. They needed game one in every which way they could have. They got close. They got a lot closer getting to it last year. They fought in the first half of game one this year. They ran out of gas, and I think that they know that this is.
But they also know if they win tonight, that they go back to LA with the huge.
Where are they finding the extra gas to finish the full game if they couldn't finish game one? They were rested coming into that game.
Nuggets had the rest advantage, I guess, but you're right. I mean, they did have 5 days off.
Yeah, so it's like it's the Nuggets spread. Like,
I hope you're right. I mean, I literally hope you're right. I've seen this too many times where
as much as it doesn't want to look like
50% of the NBA's fans root for the Lakers, and Adam Silver knows this, and Scott Foster knows this. Like 50% of the fans. That's why the Pacers never take over an arena in San Antonio or Miami. Watch any game on League Pass.
You're factoring
the Lakers are strong in Miami. They're strong in Atlanta. They're definitely strong here in Sacramento.
Oh, and okay, so if we're just going to factor that in, it's like this is just WWE now. They're just going to cut off the water to one of the best European superstars that's probably known more worldwide than a lot of the Lakers are.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I hope you're right, Tyler. Do you think Jokic goes over 30
as much
points?
as the other series in the playoffs are entertaining and we get some good matchups, we'll probably get some good games in the end. We're still getting the same outcome probably. It's going to be Denver and Boston. So why try and sit here and bet against a team that's never lost a home game against the Western Conference?
Bro, it's going to be Denver versus the Knicks.
No, it's not spread. They have one score. They're dead. I hope they survive the series for my betting sakes, but I think they're dead.
Oh, they're definitely winning the series. I'm talking about the Knicks. What about Jokic going over 30? I would say yes. I don't like player prop overs in the playoffs, but his usage is going to be off the chain, and who can stop him?
Jamal's 3-1 to get 30. I don't hate that. I don't mind the Jokic one either, though.
Yeah, I like Jokic.
I think Jamal bounces back in a big way.
What did he shoot last game?
Let me get your exact numbers on that, but I just know it was not good. Let's see. His numbers from last game. He shot 9 for 24.
Yeah, he can do a little better. What if Russell actually has a good game? They win.
All right.
I don't think that's crazy.
Here's where that dies.
Matt Smith, bro. I've been waiting for you, bro. Matt. Oh my gosh. I've needed you in the chat all week, and now you finally show up. All right, what do you got there for Delos?
Yeah, since you're done loving Matt Smith, the 5 games Delos played. No, but
he's been correcting me every single time we've gone head to head. He beat me in the last week.
I mean, yeah, but it's regular season spread. Let's try and just focus on the games right now.
I'll try. I'm trying. Really am trying.
Back to what I was saying. D'Angelo Russell stats for the 5 games he's played against the Nuggets in the playoffs: 13-3-3, 4-2-2, 3-3-4, 10-3-5, 8-0-3. Do we want to pull up his
not good?
Yeah, not good at all.
Not good, Bob.
His actual regular season games since becoming a Laker again: 11-4-7, 17-3-3.
Yeah,
I don't think he has the game.
Maybe it's just doom and gloom because as a Kings fan, I really have nothing to root for except for hating on the Lakers. I mean, this
is how I picture this happening, Spread. If they're going to get a game, they're getting the next one. They're going to get the game in LA, and it's going to happen because Darvin Ham's going to play D'Lo again for the first amount of time in the first half like he normally does. He's not going to look good. They're going to start to get cooked. He's going to go to Dinwiddie. They're going to get cooked even more.
Dinwiddie's not good.
They're going to be getting blown out in this game, and they're finally going to go to Gabe Vincent, and they're going to realize, oh, we have something here. And then in game 3, you're going to miraculously see Gabe Vincent into the starting lineup.
Fair enough. I agree with you there. I think he'd be an upgrade. All right. I like the +7. You like the -7. Total's 224.5.
Where's our guy Matt Smith on this game? He says he got the Knicks in the NBA Finals.
Wow. All right. I love that. I love to hear that. No, I'm not taking Philly +5.5. If I were to take the 5.5, I would take Magic +5.5 before I took Philly +5.5.
I agree.
I think Knicks is the safest money line bet tonight. I know you disagree, Tyler, but okay. Total 224.5. Tyler, we like the under in the first 2. This is the only one that I would consider an over.
Yeah, I have no take on the total.
I kind of lean the over here.
I could see it going either way, and
I think both teams could improve their shooting.
I think the number could come very close, and it could just be a tilt bet. So I have no take on the total in this one.
All right. Any other props you're looking at?
Not really in this one. Just Jamal Murray's.
Okay. All right. Clyde's giving out baseball picks. Love to see it. The Phoenix Suns. So here's what we're going to do, Tyler, because I don't know if I'll have you the next 2 days, or I don't know if I'll even be on here the next 2 days. Let's talk about the rest of the series and, argue, have some fun, and then see where we goes from here. The Phoenix Suns are +3 tomorrow night in Minnesota. I'll tell you what, Tyler, I'm kind of rooting for the Timberwolves to win game 2, and then I'm going to bet the Phoenix Suns to win the series at like +400.
I think they win it. I mean, I just think they out-physical them. I don't think Grayson Allen plays again.
Mm-hmm. Ant
just got whatever shots he wants. Booker, I don't think Booker's going to break this funk all of a sudden with all these great perimeter.
I think he will. He's really good.
But with McDaniels chasing him around, he's not really going to be able to do much.
I've seen him just nail shots with Herb Jones in his face.
But here's this other thing too about what I think the Timberwolves are content with. They're like, we're content with one of these guys doing what they can do, like KD getting to 30 or Booker getting to 30, but they're both not getting there.
You got to think that KD is going to get better too.
KD scored like 30 some points in game 1.
Yeah, I think it'll be even better.
I don't think they have the other pieces around them enough. So I'm on. Right. I flipped. I think the T-Wolves are just going to run away with the series.
I don't know if I'm going to play game 2, but like I said, I don't think Phoenix is dead. And if they lose game 2, I'm gonna take a shot.
I mean, how much better can KD get? He had 31 and 7. He shot 11 for 17, and he was perfect from 3.
He'll just shoot more.
I mean,
14 for 20.
We'll see.
Yeah. And what did Booker do? Booker's definitely going to play better.
I think they're out in 5 games, and they're looking at this and going, "We fucked this all up."
Bro, just because LeBron was good at 39 doesn't mean the rest of these 35-year-olds are going to be good. KD's nowhere near how he was on the Warriors 4 years ago when he was arguably the best player in the world.
Why do I feel like you just switched sides on the argument on me?
We're just talking.
No.
We're not going to bet this game, right?
No, I mean, I would take the T-Wolves. It just felt like you switched arguments because you were like, well, how are these 30-year-olds going to get better? And it's like, the T-Wolves are all young, though. It's like, come on, that side.
I don't know if I believe in the T-Wolves.
I believe in Ant.
I do, too. Yeah. Bradley Beal, that was a terrible trade. I mean, KD
that's where they messed it all up at.
Yeah, KD's the worst general manager than LeBron.
Yeah.
At least LeBron got Anthony Davis. Like, why would you trade for Bradley Beal? Oh, we need a third shot creator when we can't get a fucking stop?
Well, that was the GM and the Sun knew each other. The GM of the Suns and the GM of Washington or whatever were like father and son. And the trade happened on Father's Day.
No, that was Jalen Brunson.
No, it wasn't.
Jalen Brunson's dad worked for the Knicks.
Dad worked for the Knicks. I'm telling you, there was something that had to do with the GMs of Washington and the Suns being related.
They fucked up. I don't care if it was just for a second-round pick. You can't absorb that salary and still have depth. So they screwed up. But I still think Phoenix is live, but I don't know if I bet them in game 2. I might even go with you on the -3 in game 2, Tyler. And then try and hit that Timberwolves bet and then bounce back and just grab Phoenix at +400 from there on out. You know what would be fun, Tyler? Let's fit it at the very end. I'm going to pull up series prices. See if we can arb any of these.
All right. Let's get on to the next game then.
All right. Indiana Pacers take on the Milwaukee Bucks. We were going to bet that, Tyler, and you said no. I wanted the Pacers, and you said no. And you were absolutely right. Fortunately, you kept me off the bet. Talk to me about why you didn't like the Pacers to begin with, and then what you saw in game 1 that basically confirmed the fact that you were on the right side there.
I mean, they're not built to play in the playoffs. They're going to shoot in 6 seconds and try and speed up the games, and the games are slowed down and physical. Mm-hmm. They're built to play like a rec style of basketball that doesn't work in the playoffs. Now you slow down, and only one guy in your entire offense can create his own shot, and Pascal Siakam. They just went from being everyone's darling in the NBA and everyone wants to bet them to they're probably the worst playoff team on the board. I don't think they win a game. I think the Bucks sweep them. Even if Giannis doesn't play a game in this series, I think the Bucks sweep them.
I don't know, bro. What did Dame Lillard shoot? I mean, he's not going to be as good.
He scored 0 points in the second half. It didn't matter.
He scored 35 in the first half.
Okay, if he gives me 25 the rest of the series, I think that's enough.
Pacers are plus
Milwaukee's going to win
right?
all. They're just going to out physical him too. Like they're just going to bully ball this team the entire series. Like what is Halliburton and Miles Turner going to do with the likes of Patrick Beverly and Bobby Portis all game? Like you just seen them. They were able to just bump those guys out of the way and just like we're just going to get every rebound, out dog you on the perimeter, and just take the ball off of you. So I think the Bucks run away with this series. This is the series everyone thought was going to go a different way, and the Bucks are just going to cruise.
Well, because the Pacers were like, what, 4-1 or 5-1 against them during the regular season?
Yeah, but this was when the games were going to slow down, and that 7-second stuff wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Because in the end, when it doesn't work, in a playoff game too, where it's like, all right, we're going to run down and shoot the ball in 7 seconds. You miss, the Bucks go down and score. You go down again real fast, you miss, the Bucks go down and score. All of a sudden, you're down because of like a 12-0 run, and in the playoffs, that's very hard to come back from. This ain't the regular season. You're not getting all those shots up. The Bucks will just stand there with the ball and dribble it out.
I'm just saying, if they come out hot, it's a completely different game.
I don't.
Right? I mean, make or miss league, so yeah, that's what kind of frustrates me handicapping the NBA. It's like we do all these breakdowns and we sit here and we argue all this much, and then a lot of times it just comes down to who makes their open threes. All right. So you're going to take the Bucks again tomorrow night?
Yeah.
They're -1.5 at home.
I mean, look at the guys who are relying on to score your points around Pascal and Halliburton.
I mean, I can say the same thing. You're relying on Jay Crowder.
I'd rather
and
trust
Brook
Jay Crowder,
Lopez.
who has experience, over Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nemhart, TJ McConnell, and Obi Toppin.
Yeah, those are all good players.
Have no playoff experience. We don't know if half of them guys can play.
McConnell does.
We don't know if half of those guys can play in this atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true.
What if half of them guys got to get benched? What if all those guys got to get benched?
Well, they can't bench all of them.
Which is why they're going to lose the series.
All right. Tyler likes the Bucks -1.5. I'm not sure if I want to get there yet. Finally, do we want to talk about our biggest swing and a miss of the whole weekend?
I mean,
we love Dallas. We loved Dallas. But that wasn't even competitive. What a trash game. What a trash game. They thought that since Kawhi was out, they didn't even need to try. What a freaking joke that team was. Do you think they bounce back tonight? My projection's like the Clippers, just to win straight up, and they're catching 2. What do you think of that game, Tyler?
I mean, Dallas better bounce back. I mean, they didn't score anything outside of Luka and Kyrie. I think it was they both combined for 60-some points, and the rest of the entire team combined for like 30.
A lot of that Luka shit was when the game was out of hand, too.
Yeah, so it's like he stat padded, too. So it's like it didn't look good. Their bigs didn't look like they can play a lick of basketball in the playoffs. Zubac has his way.
They got to get better, though, right?
You would hope so. I wouldn't bet this game pregame. I would wait and see how Dallas looks live, because if they have no bigs, they're screwed. Zubac is just going to eat them up on the inside, and the Clippers are just going to kind of walk this. Maybe not walk the series away, because we've seen this same matchup where it will go up 2-0 and then go 2-2, and then they both win on the opposing floor to force Game 7. So I'm not going to say this series is over, but they got to figure something out. Dallas does.
I still think Dallas is live.
They got to figure something out, though. They not being able to play their bigs is going to be trouble.
So Dallas is only +107 right now. That's wild to win the series.
They're like -150. And if Kawhi doesn't come back,
we got him at -128.
They closed at like -150.
Yeah, everyone loves them, but we'll see. All right, finally, bro, the Miami Heat. What a freaking joke! I mean, do we want to talk about this game? They're +15. I'm not betting. Celtics are past. Total's 204.5. I'm not touching it. Do you care about this game at all? I do not.
Celtics, why whatever they want.
Yeah, it's a stupid game. All right. Talk to me about the Pelicans and the Thunder. That was the best game yesterday, the only game worth watching, and they put up essentially the same line. Now, I know it closed at 9, but it's back at 8, and the Pelicans were the only team that actually covered the whole weekend, right? The only road team that covered?
Yep. I like the Pelicans. I mean, I think they have a very good chance of winning the series. You want to talk about series prices? This series price is just out of hand right now. I think. I mean, they're 7-1 to win this series, and they almost stole Game 1. I would sprinkle on that. I don't hate betting the series.
I only
spread.
got +587 on my book.
The +2.5 on the series spreads +135. I think that's pretty
love
much
that.
Yeah, love that. I mean, let's just look at some of the shooting percentages.
We talked about playoff experience, and this is the one where the 8 seed has more than the 1 seed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they have more experience. And, where they improve at is, Brandon Ingram had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, and he shot 5 for 17 from the field. He stunk it up. You look on the other side, it's where does OKC improve? It's well, Jalen Williams had a hell of a game.
I didn't think Shea played that well.
SGA had 28, 6 and 4, 11 for 24.
But in crunch time, he kind of.
I mean, it's almost like he got tired from all these good perimeter defenders chasing him around, and they were able to start taking advantage of him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Chet had 15, 11, and 2, and he shot 6 for 14. Their players showed up. Their guys showed up, and they stole the game by 2. So I think the Pelicans are definitely live to win the series. If they're going to keep laying these spreads super high, like the Thunder or some juggernaut, I mean, give me the Pelicans all day.
Yeah, I think the +8 is an attractive bet.
Yeah, +8, +260. Give me them all.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, if the Thunder win game 2, though, the Pelicans are going to be like +8, +900.
Yeah.
Oh,
They'll be
that'd
worse
sweet.
than that. They were already 7-1.
I got only 6-1 on my book. Do you know the Heat are 65-1 to win the series?
They're dead.
I got to put like $10 on it, right?
No.
Like, what if a meteor hit
If
Boston?
Tatum's knee exploded next game,
What if Boston had a plane crash?
doesn't that like force the disaster
Yeah, I know.
draft or whatever?
I mean, that's about the scenario we need for this
I don't
trash
think
Miami
I
Heat
don't think
team.
you're getting paid out on that because all of
I
a
know
sudden
you're not. I know.
they're
I'm
canceling
just
the
want to make a
playoffs.
bad
They're
joke.
redoing everything. We're getting some weird bubble championship again.
Bro, did my cat actually walk back in here? She's so pissed at me still. I should put her up. She's still wet because she wouldn't let me dry her off. Stop being pissed off at me, Dasha. Matt Smith wants to know, is OKC the worst 1 seed of all time? I don't think so.
Didn't Chicago get a 1 seed with Lonzo in them?
No, they were like first through December.
I'm trying to think of
the last time Chicago was 1 seed was when they had Derrick Rose and he was MVP. I think. I don't even know if they were that year, actually. I'd have to go back and think. You know what, Matt? You might have a point, though, because if we go back in history, when these guys didn't sit, the 1 seeds were way better. So you could probably go to like 2000 on. What do you think of Jaime Jaquez over on points, Tyler?
I have no take on that in that game. I mean.
So I don't like playoff overs, but I actually like Jaquez. Because they have no one else. Like, the usage is going to be there. If you're betting usage, I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but I'm not sure what his numbers say at either. I'm looking up these standings real quick to see.
One thing I'll say, Matt, on your question, OKC is probably the most inexperienced 1 seed of all time. Besides Gordon Hayward, has anyone played in the playoffs on that team?
SGA played in the playoffs once.
No, he didn't. They were in the play-in last year. Was he on the Clippers when they were in the playoffs?
I swear he was on that Clippers team that played up against the Warriors. Remember there was the press conference afterwards where it had Beverly and Lou Williams up there, and they're like, "I promise we tried," like to guard KD. Wasn't Shea on that team?
Maybe.
Almost
Clyde's attacking the Pacers. 2000 Pacers in 2014. 2014 Pacers were the number 1 seed, Clyde? Yeah, good knowledge. I don't remember that. I'm assuming that's when they had Paul George.
No, the 2014-2015 1 seed in the East was the Hawks. The Pacers didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe he means 2013-2014.
Well, who's better, that Hawks team or this Thunder team? So actually, now we're getting to what I can remember. That Hawks team had Jeff Teague.
The starters,
Al
I know
Horford,
the
Paul
exact
Millsap.
Yeah. And then Kyle
Dennis
Korver was
Schrader.
Kyle Korver.
Yeah. That Hawks team might have been worse than this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you.
Yeah.
The 2017 Raptors.
With Lowry and DeRozan over SGA and Chet. Yeah, probably worse too. All right, Magic over Cavs.
Actually,
I like the points tonight, Tony, but I don't know. I don't know if they went straight up.
You could argue that this was the worst 1 seed, and you can only argue this because he got hurt right as the playoffs were starting.
Who?
The 2011-2012 lockout Bulls, when Derrick Rose's knee exploded. And
that's what I was thinking. It would be the 2011 Bulls.
Because that team was terrible outside of him. So
yeah,
that team, because I'm almost positive they lost in the first round that year too, like because of that when him getting hurt.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I can't exactly remember. They don't show me what happened throughout this playoff standing, so I'd have to go back and exactly look. But yeah, I feel like that team's probably the worst.
Yeah. All right, well there you have it. There's a chance. So do we have any official plays, Tyler? I don't love tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
I'll be honest, getting smacked around this weekend and having every favorite cover again, it just feels like the NCAA.
I don't hate the Jared Allen over on his rebounds at 11.5.
Okay, that's our official play. Let's bet that. Jared Allen over 11.5 rebounds. That's our play for tonight. If you want to hear all the leans, and we'll give each one of us, but Tyler and I both like the plus 5.5, and we both like the under 204 in the Magic game, right?
Yep.
I like the minus 5.5 and the under 204 in the Knicks game. What was your thoughts on that one?
I think the Knicks win, but I like the under more, and I'd rather get the Knicks at plus money. I think Philly takes a lead at some point in that game.
All right. I like the Lakers plus 7, and I like the over 224.5 against the Nuggets. Who do you like there?
Just give me the Nuggets.
What do you think about the total?
I had no take on the total. I don't hate betting the Nuggets through like Jamal Murray or Jokic performance doubles. Like 30 and win, 25 and win, triple double and win. Different ways you could do that.
All right. Well, here's how it goes. If the Lakers lose tonight, I'll probably do a show tomorrow. If they win, 50-50. So there you have it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to Nuke the House. Not only do we do these pregame shows during the week, we are live betting the games on the weekend. I got to hang out with the OG Jonathan Nelson yesterday. That was a great time because Jonathan Nelson, can you imagine watching that game without you guys, bro? Can you imagine if I had to just sit there and watch that game at home by myself? How crappy was that game yesterday? So a lot of times, right, even if the game's bad, the live show makes the game so much more fun. Had a great time catching up with Keg and, of course, the great crew that we have. Coop was being hilarious. We had a lot of fun there. So subscribe to the channel. We'll give you more pregame content during the week, and we're going to crush the live betting this weekend. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Nelson knows. Can you imagine watching that game by yourself? I mean, not even drugs could have made it good. All right. On that, Tyler, do you have any final words?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. Tyler thinks the Lakers lose, so we'll be back tomorrow. Later.